when we go to interviews, and this happens a lot, it becomes very evident at times that the responses are memorized. So sometimes, especially if we have candidates lined up from the same college, we hear literally the same answer being repeated for the same question. So maybe there might have been some combined sessions, mock interview sessions, and all that. That happens at times. So it becomes very evident to the recruiter if at all you are citing a memorized answer. So being interview ready, if you ask me, I would boil it down to four things. I would call them the four C's. So first, obviously, would be clarity. Can you explain what is it that you have done, and why it mattered, and what is it that you have learned from the whole thing? So again, the next thing is say confidence. So how are you appearing very calm, and basically you should be very clear about what is it that you bring to the table. The next thing is curiosity. So are you asking good questions, and are you showing genuine interest in the role, or is it some random? See, sometimes it becomes very obvious, especially in certain cases, that the person is not really interested in the interview. It feels like the person has randomly applied to multiple roles, and that the overall the person's demeanor may sometimes reflect that as well. So showing the right kind of curiosity in the role and the opportunity also matters. And finally, communication. Now, how are you able to structure your answers? Does the answer have a beginning, middle, and an end? So that is something which really helps. And now, as a person who is the HR interviewer, or as a person who is, especially in an HR round, I am assessing a person if they can talk about their own overall experience without just having to read their resume point by point. So does the person have that self-awareness? Are they really aligned with what is it that this role has to offer? So that being said, we are not looking for perfection, but we are really looking for potential. So a few things to do before every single interview. First of all, absolute no, don't miss this point out. One is that know your resume inside out, which means that even in your sleep you should be able to tell what exactly was there in your resume. Reason being that if you wrote it, obviously you should be able to speak every line of it. So you should be able to justify any question which comes based on your resume. Second thing, in elaborating the points within your resume, like for example, if you're asked to talk about one specific instance which is cited in your resume, STAR model is a good framework which is used generally for behavioral questions. It's recommended something. It's a recommended framework. So S stands for situation. Situation is basically wherein you explain the overall what is the situation at hand. Then we have task, action, and result. So you have on your screen the explanations of what each of these things are. So my preferred way of remembering this acronym is not just situation, task, action, and results. It's about leave the interviewers with something they always remember. STAR for me is that. So practicing out loud will also help you solidify that STAR way of responding to things. So that is also something which helps. Last but not the least, be confident and be professionally dressed as well. Maintain proper body language. So if you slouch, and if you sit with your body posture in a wrong manner, that would not be the best signal to an interviewer.
Watch more recordings on emerging technologies and job readiness.